Right, Rohan Patel, comic book movie. Hey, Kari, it's really nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations on the show. I really had a great time with it. It was love to see Sam as Cap and Bucky doing Bucky things. So this is awesome.
Fantastic.
So we finally got to see Sam accept the Captain America mantle in the finale, and then we see the new title card. Was there a reason why like Bucky didn't turn into the White Wolf and then is still like kept the Winter Soldier name?
No reason that I know of. Just it was important that we changed the one title because that was obviously what the show was about. So I guess more to come. I have no idea.
Awesome, no problem. And then his suit turned out awesome, and it really popped. Was that like always the costume that you guys picked out from the get-go, or is that something that developed through production? You tested out different looks?
The costume design of it takes months. It's not only the design, but then there's the build of it, which then changes the design a little bit because some things work better than others. So it's a very long process. It was really a tremendously emotional moment when Anthony walked on set wearing it finally after all the months of planning. I think we all applauded, and we really knew that we were making something special.
Yeah, no, it turned out fantastic. That his speech was amazing. It's one of my dreams to be a director one day too. I'm 29. I don't know if I still have a chance, but I really admire how you shoot characters in these really intimate moments. Like the therapy scene in episode 1, like it was a real unique angle that you use these extreme close-ups to and it really feels like you're inside Bucky's head. And I also revisited your Punisher episode. I love that show too. And then the way you shot Ben Barnes's Billy Russo was also really unique. So is there could you maybe your approach to shooting characters or these intimate moments?
Well, you try and use the camera like a tool that will capture the emotional context of the character. So in the case of Bucky, the reason I was very in tight and looking at him so closely was I wanted to feel the claustrophobia of his situation and where he was in his head. By contrast, Sam, who is much freer in where he lives and who he is, that was all very fluid and movement, and a lot of it was handheld to give it more of a energetic, experiential kind of quality to the coverage we did with him. So what I try to do is pick and choose where we emotionally need to be engaged or inside with a character or in their perspective. So ultimately it's about choosing perspectives and then sticking with that perspective for the scene. Or if you switch perspectives, know that you're switching perspectives, and then again, stick with that for the duration of wherever you've chosen. So I use a lot of focal length as well. You'll notice very pronounced in the therapy scene, but I use it all over, where I do short focus or deep focus. It's where I want the audience's attention to go. Whose perspective are we in? So, that's a lot of, and also camera shifts where I eliminate edits. So it'll shift from one character to the next through a conversation so that we don't have to cut to it. It just has a natural drift.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's really effective, and it was something I noticed it a lot more than I usually would, and that was just I really loved
good.
it.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, it's intentional and it's meant to be a signature. The idea was to help create a signature quality to the show as an overall look and feel, and hopefully we achieved that, because it also wanted to serve the fact that the film is it's a much more grounded world that we're in, that it has been in the past. So I wanted it never to be objective, but always to be, or when we are objective, to feel that that's intentional, that we're watching it go down versus being in it.
Yeah, no, I love because you really feel like you're in their head, and it's a really effective. And so like you mentioned, it's a lot more grounded, a lot more intimate. The finale is also a lot more contained than what you've come to expect from Captain America movies and what they just did with Avengers. So was that always intentional, or did you have bigger aspirations initially?
No. It was always intentional because, we were the sequel to Avengers, and that was a huge spectacle with otherworldly characters and a really otherworldly setting, and in most of it, and so this wanted to be the complete polar opposite, a much more grounded quality to it overall, as well as, which I think we wanted to capture a very relevant conversation, and our themes and the topics that we embrace in this project were, needed to be relevant and very present, because they were very present. It's a very relevant conversation that is real world and now. So it was all part of capturing the experience of it and being relevant to the audience right now. Uh-oh, Rohan froze. Oh,
Definitely. Are you there? Sorry.
yeah, I'm here. I think
Is
you
it better?
froze.
Yeah.
All good.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry about that.
no problem.
So yeah, and then I guess like Baron Zemo ends up in prison back where he seems pretty content at the end, but he's also like pulling the strings with Val. Were there any like bigger, I'm sure like Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers or something, like did you have discussions, or I don't know if you're allowed to say anything but to tease any of that, or like what's to come maybe? Like I know they said something about Captain America 4 or anything like that.
No, I have no idea, honestly. If I did have an idea, I couldn't tell you, but I honestly have no idea.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. And then you have like there's callbacks there's obvious callbacks to the Captain America Winter Soldier and then Civil War. Was there any version of that last scene where Bucky has that line where he's like, "Give it up for Captain America" in the first Avenger? Did you ever like think about doing a callback to that?
I'm sorry, you know what? You broke up a little bit. Which line are we talking about?
When he gets rescued in the first Avenger, he does that. He does like the hip hip hooray for Steve at the time, and I was wondering if you ever thought about like sort of doing a callback to that when Sam first comes on the scene as Captain America.
No, you know what? We didn't really look at. This was its own unique. There were little callbacks throughout. Like I used, the finger scraping as that, but truthfully, we sort of kept this one in its own space. And so, other than making fun of where is Steve and that, we wanted to keep it in its own space. So I didn't echo.
That's and I guess I don't want to keep you too long, but you're a veteran director. You've directed so much great television, and now you come into this beast as Marvel Studios. Is there anything that you learned like within the belly of the beast that you hope to take with you to future projects, whether it's another Marvel thing?
Well, I learned a lot about a certain kind of action choreography that I had not worked in before. I'd worked in a lot of action, but this particular superhero of it was terrific to learn. I really enjoyed working with the Marvel teams. They're all very, very positive, and everybody's after doing the best they can be and do, looking for the best storylines, making it relevant, not shying from themes. So I think going forward, I'll miss working with them, but going forward, I think I would like to bring that same kind of collaborative, positive energy to every project. I think I do anyway, but nonetheless, this was very pronounced. It's a very wonderful team who are very inclusive, very diverse, and I think enjoy and respect each other. And that's a unique space to be in our business, which is a tough one. So it's an egoless place, and that really counts.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kari. I really appreciate you talking. This was just really great. I learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.